Hi everyone, just wanted to give you an explanation of the major assignment number 1, which is the group assignment, and this is due April 24th by midnight. So what I want you to do is amongst your group, and you should already have your group already identified, you should know your group members, you can discuss with each other in the group blog, you can email, you should be communicating by now. I want you to read Matt's case study. Read it over alone, read it over with your group, discuss it, because you're going to need to go pretty in depth with an assessment analysis and also an intervention plan for Matt based on the information we gave you in the case study. So what I'm looking for are various aspects of assessment materials and evaluation materials that I am going to explain right now. So first, I want you to give me general and demographic information about the family and about Matt. So you're going to talk about Matt's age, date of birth, current educational placement, his diagnosed disability, family composition, or just any other information you think should be mentioned that is given to you in the case study. Make sure that you only comment on information that is provided in the case study. Do not insinuate beyond what the information is that I provided. Next, I want you to identify and summarize developmental and background information, also referral information. So that would include social, academic, developmental, medical, and family histories and the types of services that are currently provided. So I give you a really detailed account of what's going on with Matt and all of his past history in medical history, his educational history, and various perspectives. So I want you to comment on that. Next, you're going to identify the needs, priorities, and concerns of the family and the child. So I want you to make sure that you discuss what the family's needs, priorities, and concerns are, and then what they are for Matt. What you would think, if it's not commented on, what you would think would be a priority or concern that Matt's parents have said that Matt is concerned about. He's young, so he might not be able to discuss what his priorities and concerns are per se, but I feel like in this case the family can speak for his perspective. Identify the family's sources of support, both formal and informal, and their resources, including emotional, social, financial, and educational resources available to the family and to Matt. Next, you're going to summarize and discuss the assessment information. So we're providing a lot of information for you, both formal and informal, that have been collected about Matt and about his family. So you're going to include home observations, teacher ratings, parent input, and feedback, anecdotal notes, scores, Matt's strengths and limitations, and emerging developmental skills. So this area needs to be pretty detailed because this is an assessment class. So this is the component that is very important, that you are able to read and discuss and translate what these assessment results mean. And then based on those, and based on all the information you collected from the family, you are going to develop an intervention plan, which I'm going to get to in a bit. So after you discuss the assessment information, you are also going to suggest alternative types of informal and formal assessments based on your knowledge from this course. What kind of assessment practices would you suggest to gather more information about Matt? Next, I want you to discuss best practices and family-centered practices professionals use while working with Matt and his family during the assessment and intervention process. So you have known, that we're involving family in the evaluation and in the assessment process. I want you to discuss how the family was involved and also the best practices that were used during this process with Matt. And lastly, I want you to propose a possible intervention plan for the family and Matt based on the developmentally appropriate practices and recommended practices. So I don't want you just to devise a plan out of nowhere. You have to take the information provided from the family and within the case study also provided by the assessment results, and then you're going to develop a plan taking all of this into account. Make sure that you focus on interventions and appropriate and writing outcome statements that can occur in the home as well as in school, because we want these outcomes to be generalized to both home and school, and we want to involve the family as much as possible. So you might want to develop some classroom instructional activities. You might want to develop some home activities based on home routines. Definitely involve curriculum and then appropriate learning environment. Make sure to take all of the developmental domains into account for math. So once you have all of this together, you are going to make sure that you revise and edit all of your work. I would suggest that every single person in your group looks through the whole document, revises and edits, and make sure that every single component is in there, because if you guys are missing a component, the whole group is at fault for it. I am going to ask that you tell me exactly who did which portions, because if somebody didn't do as much as another group member, they're not going to be able to get the same grade when they didn't really pull their weight. That being said, I want you to be very thorough with your submission. I want you to make sure that you are taking every single part of the case study into account. And, this is a group large project. This is your major assignment. So make sure that you put a lot of work and effort into it, and you're demonstrating that you have internalized the concepts from this course well enough to apply them to this case study. So you're going to save your assignment in a PDF file and upload it to the discussion board, and then you're going to read at least one more group's assignment and respond. So your response will be taken into account for your final grade for this project. Again, make sure that you revise and edit amongst your group. Make sure that you're proofreading, because if I see a lot of careless mistakes, I'm going to have to take points off for that. And make sure that you're thorough and that you're demonstrating that you have understood and internalized the content from this course. So again, it's due April 24th, and I know that it says April 19th on the major assignment checklist, but it's due April 24th by midnight. So please do contact me if you have any questions or concerns, and I'm looking forward to reading all your case studies.